Michele Denardi Tamburus, attorney at law in Brazil and Brazilian business expert in Orlando, Florida, United States, to talk to you about some characteristics of the business in Brazil and how everyone should be aware that the ways they are going to invest must have the ways to prevent eventual risks of losses if you do tax management, labor management, and company management related to structure and the company agreements that you are going to do between the members of this partnership. Let's check in the video. When the investors plan to start a company, the first thing they look for is the structure they are going to have to build their company. We have in Brazil three main types of societies that can be constituted by agreement between the partners in business. And we are going to have the limited liability company that we call LTDA, the corporate company that you call SA, and the personal companies that you can have a mixed way to define the liability. What means when you say the limited liability? The limited liability involves the company that is going to have to respond for their obligations and debts, and every situation they are going to be obligated to pay someone only with the capital of the company. They are not going to be obligated to implement any warranties with their private properties, their private funds. So each member are not going to be at risk to lose their private funds, their private investments, if the company eventually have to get out of the business. Only if they committed some fraud or use the company in a wrong way. And we have in Brazil as well a kind of company that you can't separate the assets of the company and the personal assets. It's an individual company, Liability. It is a company that has only one member, but the liability is going to be limited of the assets of the company. But you have to be aware in Brazil that when you do investments and within the law, when you see the definition of this limited liability, you have to be aware can be not absolute. What means that when the company has to end the activities and remain some debts related to taxes, labor, they are going to be obligated to pay all these debts, and even if the company doesn't have enough money to cover all these debts, they are going to be obligated to pay it with their own assets, the assets of the members of the company. That's why it's very important, not only when you are going to invest in Brazil or in any country or even in your own country, invest in management of taxes, labor, and the organization of the structure of the society to compose the agreement. And be aware, some of the members won't continue to be part of the company, and it's important that you have a plan to prevent the company to be sold when some of the members leave the company in case of death of one of these members, and you have to think about the will or even the laws of the country that have some rules related to the descendants, related to heritage. What means that the center are going to receive the interest of the company. And sometimes the other members are not agreeable to receive a member. All the management and planning related to taxes, labor, and succession in a company is important, not only in Brazil but in other countries. And specifically in Brazil, the investors prevent the company and itself to experience some losses, some loss of money. The company and its members are going to face some challenges. So it's very important that if you put all the information together and see what the law says and what the court understands based on this law, we are going to prevent the company to lose money, because sometimes the law stipulates some situations and the courts are going to interpret it in a little slightly different way. That's why it's important you have good management, and it's going to bring you lots of opportunities. Hope you had insights related to the system and the investments in Brazil. And please comment if you wanna listen about another topics, and I'm going to be happy to prepare to you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.